Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, actually, I've been making some pretty rough statements, but it's mostly true. Um, Believe it or not, everything is about these people's survival. Everything right now, they're hanging outside my window. Oddly enough, they're resonating it, and they're doing that to get money, and they stole my bracelet. Now, my father has made statements to me in the past that it's okay to do some drugs, that it's fine. And my father raised me to not do dope at all. To avoid it any way I can. Here, let me go ahead. This guy here. Yeah. Anyway, he literally raised me anti-drugs, and we would not affiliate with people who were doing drugs at all. Zero. He would never in a million years make a statement involving the support of drug use, much less interact in a friendly way with individuals who are using drugs or dealing drugs at all, ever. He wouldn't put a hand on them, he wouldn't hug them, he wouldn't kiss them, he wouldn't do anything of the sort. He was extremely strict on this, and so was my mother. Big time. They were very, very, very stringent about these freaking these freaking beliefs of theirs. For real. My entire life. The neighbors have been gassing my house. They'll sit there and they have like a tube or something that they're putting in through the garage, through like a little gap in the garage door, and they're gassing my fucking house. Sometimes with chlorine gas. Other times they're using stuff like tequila and anything they can use, marijuana, you name it. I think that at one point they even gassed it with fucking cocaine. Today I went out skating and I did some work, which was really, really nice. It was a lot of fun. And I was in my typical selling spot, so to speak. I don't sell much, but I enjoy doing my work. And I had a paramedic with the number one on his vehicle who pulled up next to me on the turn lane, while I was sitting there trying to sell my products. And he sat there and he said, he mouthed survive, for me to survive. That they're recommending that I simply survive. They're killing Americans. These individuals are in support of terrorists on United States soil. Big time. Other times, these people have actually gassed a house with other volatile substances, which I will not describe here. No, these are not our allies, and these are most certainly not our friends at all. These are people that I am daily and desperately trying to get away from my house, and I've frequently recommended that they leave the United States of America, which, of course, the cops don't enforce the law, so they don't leave. Yeah, my father would never. All right, I wanted to give something to the civilian population of the United States, something which terrorists are flatly denying them, which is the choice to survive. What the paramedic recommended by eliminating these people altogether. Elimination comes from several different things: engagement, underfunding, a lot of cues from the FBI's previous transgressions should be sufficient prior to them becoming Captain Corruption here. It should be sufficient to assist. In regards to my communications to the Department of Justice, I was communicating with the Department of Justice long before September 11th, 2001, within the year, of course. My emails addresses were Starfire1111, and I think I had one at Bell South, as well as one I had to navigate or migrate into Hotmail, and there's a few other ones as well, but I'm really not in the mood to bring that up because it could cause a serious problem, and it does start with an A. I also had Betty Boop and a couple of other ones too. Wild Blues Yonder was mine on Yahoo, and PETA, and several others. I have the whole list here of the phenomenal amount of times I contacted the Department of Justice. A lot. About the attack itself. Yeah, they're gassing my room somehow. Anyway, about the attack, I don't know when they exactly put this crap in me. All I know is I woke up one day and this area here in my head was popping. And the activation date was literally, for regards to screaming, torturing mess, was January 11th, 2001 at 04:30 p.m. a.m. I'm sorry, early in the morning, where I was working on Boris effects. It's a day I'll never forget. These people took 9 months to gestate the attacks of the September 11th attacks in order to engage the World Trade Center as well as the Pentagon. I've run into these people very frequently. Some really weird stalking crap going on in New York, and the neighbors here tortured me. The next door neighbor, Levantia Hill, tortured me frequently about my being pregnant. And she would constantly say, "I just sit there and talk to yourself," And it was a constant torture scheme with this person. This was not an individual who was attempting to help. This was an individual who was attempting to murder and not be held accountable for the assassination. This was somebody who was covering for themselves. And these people here, the neighbors, are also covering for these people as well. The terrorists have been torturing and robbing us into submission. In the United States government, I went ahead and provided a machine that could initiate the process of intracranial investigation in order to save your lives, as well as my own. Every time I'm doing something, I am thinking about myself, but I am thinking very much so of you. I'm thinking of the fact that I don't want to sit there and go, be free to learn. I don't want to go and be, go live a life to where I'm liberated and you are not. Not only do I not want that, I am scared to death of it. The United States government, in all of my pursuits in regards to saving American lives, has in no way, shape, or form funded me at all. Even in mechanical design, or whether or not it's a political campaign or anything. They have never once funded me. The cops and these people have been robbing us to death. These people have been sacking the United States. And they're sacking us. They're literally sacking us. I wanted to give you guys a quick note. I went ahead and I gave the FBI like something that I called the room lock. And it was a mechanical design, very simple one, in order for them to be able to actually stay at nearby hotels and not get killed. Hopefully. Excuse me. Heater's on. I think there's something coming out of that. This is a simple device. Most hotel room doors, I stayed at hotels, of course, when I was trying to figure out a place to live, and I discovered that these people were stalking my rear end all across the United States. In other words, they don't have boundaries. Every hotel room door has the area where the latch goes in, right? Yeah, right, latch goes in. And it comes out. And typically there are 4 screws here in this area. Now, what I had designed for these guys was a plate. You have to remove the original plate that the door latch goes in and add a new plate that has an extension. Now, this particular extension, its sole purpose in life is to go, you have the doorknob on the other end, whether it's a handle one or an actual knob. So this would be something that would have to have different mounts. It would extend past the door into the inside of the hotel room and physically have a fold over that goes over the doorknob. And what it does is you can either use a water hose fastener, which is one of the most favorite tools in the whole world. I love those things. Or you can actually have multiple heads in order to attach to the actual hinge. What this particular piece of technology does is whenever somebody tries to open the door, there is insufficient clearance to physically be able to undo the door. Even if they sat there and try to remove the doorknob, it's moot because it's attached to the plate. The only situation you're going to run into is being gassed, which these people are gassing me and gassing my family to prove that they have power over us. So there's that. maybe you guys will live longer. In regards to the DNA therapy concept, bone marrow testing is the only option that you have in order to determine who the hell it is you have sitting in front of you, or who the hell walked into your office if they start acting like a flipping maniac. These people here have a frequency pre-multiplier that they've been using for several years here. They would open up my garage door when I would go biking, and I had a cop even pull a gun on me just to, get me to not leave my house. And they frequently threaten to kill me for engaging terrorism. And the further away I get from my house, the more violent they become. So they don't want the public informed of what's going on. They just want to kill people. They do not in any way, shape, or form save lives. I understand your financial losses in regards to, excuse me. Yes, it's pretty bad. I'm not going to open the window. I got to figure out something else here. Probably gave me anthrax. I have to, I know you guys are going through some severe financial losses with the government shutdown, but I live off of $140 a month, and I've done nothing but fight for American citizens' lives, and even been made fun of by the President of the United States. Yeah, this is all real. These people like to call people who defend the United States crazy, and you run into these people all the time on Twitter. I have no idea why you apply credibility to these individuals, especially when their only business interest is drug dealing. I don't know why you do not arrest them. You don't critique them. You don't criticize them. You attack their hostages. You are attacking their hostages. Now, I want to give you a note as to what I see. Why, that's not that many people. Actually, there's a lot of people that may be bugged, cybernetically implanted, and are not aware of it. Why in the living fuck would I say that? It's called 9/11. We don't feel much pain when we're bugged. It's due to the nerve conduction being reduced due to excessive traffic. What ends up happening is some of our nerve endings die off. We're capable of a lot. It's pretty, in that regard, we're pretty awesome. Yeah, the neighbors gassed me. The neighbors been gassing the house. They're Nazis, as in they're killing us. And a lot of them control medical professionals and medical personnel here in Florida. They are murdering us, as in they are murdering us. Back to the whole sensation thing. Nerve function is reduced due to excessive use, excessive electrical traffic, and what ends up happening is their capacity to actually transmit pain signals is reduced. And if it's something at the base of the brainstem, it's intended to paralyze you, or anywhere close to the brainstem. It's intended, the nervous activity is intended to reduce actual nerve function through the spine into the base, into the legs, and paralyze you and kill you. Let me repeat that again. Any implant close to the base of the spine that is electrical, or close to the base of the brainstem, is intended to kill you. It is intended to paralyze you. Your home will be stolen by people within the White House, by police, by paramedics, and it will kill you. All right. I was interested in this whole thing from Dr. Strange about the intimidating garbage. Yeah, that's great. They're using the nerve conduction as a means by which to murder their hostages. And they're making their treatments pretty painful and nasty and horrifying so that you will surrender and die. They are threatening the entire civilian population of the United States. President, in his lack of engagement, is authorizing them to do that. Now, in regards to the people of September 11th, 2001, their heroism was amazing. I feel for you so much. You did such a good job. But the reason it wasn't that painful when your skin was coming off was because you're bugged. I've had stuff like that happen to me all the time. I get some pretty wild injuries and I feel pain for a second, then it stops. I am so sorry. Methods are being devised. I am taking steps forward, but I cannot in any way, shape, or form engage terrorists in the United States with $140 a month. That's all I'm being allowed by terrorists to have. Once again, let me repeat that. That is all I am being allowed by terrorists to have. They're attempting to engulf me in their terrorist group any way they can. And I will not accept the offer. I refuse. Your options are to engage these terrorists and maybe die. Increase your chances of survival and engagement. Or join them and die faster. Donald Trump is doing us a huge favor with this wall. I am so not kidding. We have an influx of wild, stampeding, crazy, coked up, psychotic, sociopathic cattle pillaging and literally stampeding down our fucking highways. These people like to load the highway with their terrorist groups to make people late for work so they can get their jobs. They poison vegetables at stores. They stalk their victims, make sure they figure out what vegetables they're gonna buy, and they poison the vegetables. This is a constant attack. Donald Trump is doing something that can save your life. The government has enough money to do a few more things, including but not limited to not funding cocaine users, which is where 50% of your money went. You're saving the lives of drug addicts in hospitals. How much of that money can go to saving American lives? Not bullet wounds, drug addicts in rehab. And funding them through movies. You are funding cocaine addict dealing filmmakers. I'm actually disgusted by this fact. I am mortified at what kind of fucking industry I was getting into. I am a scientist. I am an artist. And I am an American.